everybody, this is Miss K and welcome to Miss K on Postal. Happy motherfucking hump day, bitches. Happy Valentine's Day for you motherfuckers who's supposed to be in love and whatnot and shit. The fuck? You need one day for somebody to give you something to tell you they care about you? Anyway, let's move on. But I decided to come today because, Miss K been on vacation and enjoying life and living and drinking good. And had to come back, give y'all some knowledge, put y'all on game on some shit. So listen. So I decided to go have a refresher course, you guys, on a little conversation with you about IIs. Now, as you know, for some of you who've been in the game long enough, IIs are investigative interviews. For those of you who just got into the game and you keep hearing II, but maybe you never had one, that is what it is, an investigative interview. Now, you're trying to say, well, what happens when an investigative interview, Miss K? Because I keep hearing it's scary, or, they be trying to threaten you with these things and whatnot. Let Miss K put you up on game. Okay? Listen. So usually what happens is if there's an incident, any type of incident at work, it can be you might have had a verbal altercation with somebody, or maybe there was an accident at work. Maybe a driver ran into something. Maybe a driver ran over your foot. Maybe, you got into a physical altercation with somebody at work. Maybe you've been tardy all the time. Maybe you ain't been showing up to work all the time. They can give you an an investigative interview at will, depending on what that situation is. Now, sometimes in a lot of cases, IIs are benign, meaning you have an II, it comes and goes, you're done with it. It's just information they're collecting. There's sometimes, depending on what the situation is, there's no discipline that comes out of it and you're good. Now, sometimes that's not the case. So let's say hypothetically, you've been coming to work late all the motherfucking time, right? So they come to you and say, hey, Barbara, we got to have an eye with you because, you ain't been coming to work and, you've been missing days and we trying to figure out what's going on with you, right? So they can do that. Let's say that you and a coworker got into a little shouting match and then, supervisor came and broke it up and wanted to have an II and maybe ask you to provide statements in regards to that. So what I'm going to tell y'all today is how you're going to survive your II. How you're going to handle your II. Now, first and foremost, the way an II should be done procedurally is that if the supervisor or manager, whoever it is going to give you the II, they need to inform the shop steward. So whatever craft you're in, if you're a clerk or if you're a mail handler, a shop steward needs to be informed because the shop steward is going to be the one that's going to be sitting in that II with you. Okay? Do not look at Miss K when she talked to you. Do not go into an II without representation. I don't give a fuck what they tell you. I don't give a fuck what they say. You need to go in there with a representative. So if you don't go in there with a representative, you tell the person at that time, I will go ahead and I will wait for my II because I need to wait for my union rep to be present. If they tell you they don't have a union rep present and they want to go ahead and do this anyway, you tell them, no, thank you. No, I don't want that. We don't eat that. We don't serve that here. Tell them, no, I want my representative present. Please remember, guys, this is anything that's said or done in an II, this is legal documentation. So when they type this stuff based on your answers, they have to give your rep a copy of it. So it's best if you have your representation there. Don't have them fucking tell you that, oh, they're not available this time, we can't do it. No, because when I was a shop steward, if someone had and it was scheduled, I scheduled my time for that particular time. If it's 9 o'clock that night, 10 o'clock that night, unless it's an emergency, then you stop, drop, and roll. Other than that, no. This goddamn hair getting on my nerves. There we go. Anyway, so listen. Don't go in there without your representation. Number 2, please remember, like I just stated, this is legal documentation. All of your answers that you're saying in this II are being written down. Okay? Now, I do not know of any IIs that are recorded. If it is recorded, that supervisor, that shop steward has to agree to this being recorded. In most cases, it is not. There's no recording of the of the II. It's normally written. So usually the supervisor MDO who's giving his II, they have a copy of the questions that they're going to ask you. And then depending on who your shop steward is, they're going to have a copy. Now, when I was a shop steward, I want the same fucking copy that you're writing on. So give me a copy of all your questions that you're going to ask. And usually what I would do when I'm in an II is whatever you say as my client, that's what I'm writing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because people tend to interpret what you say differently. So I may write down one thing, but the supervisor, the MDO, may write down something totally different. Is it going to mean the same? Who knows? Probably not. But I'm going to write down exactly what you say word for fucking word. They're not. They're going to write shorthand. So if I were you and you're in the II, ask your representative to please get a copy so that they can write that down as well, your words. Remember, especially if this is about some serious discipline, maybe they're looking to put you on 14-day suspension, 21-day suspension. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, everything is serious. Okay? All right. So that's number 2. Number 3, when they ask you the questions, okay, be concise with your answers. Meaning, if they say to you, and they usually start this off like this: is your name Barbara May? Yes, that's it. Don't add shit. Don't ad lib shit. Yes, no, yes, no, maybe. Don't say yes, but in 19. No, yes, no. That's all you're gonna answer. Don't give them more fuel for the fire. Make it concise answers. So if they say, "Are you a mail handler?" Yes. Did you start in 1991? Yes. Did you come to work on Tuesday? Whatever. Yes. If that's the answer. If it's no, no. Don't give them more information that they may use against you for further discipline. Make it short. Make it motherfucking sweet. Don't be doing all that extra shit. Okay? Now, I need y'all to remember something. And this is another point. In the II, technically your shop steward is not supposed to ask questions in regards to what's going on. They're not supposed to. All they're supposed to sit there and do, this goddamn hell, all they're supposed to sit there and do is pretty much just go with the flow of what's going on the II. Meaning, because the questions are being asked by management pertaining to whatever that situation is. Now, if you have a shop steward, they will probably pre-speak to that management and say, hey, what is this in regards to? So they'll say, oh, it's discipline or it's, insubordination for an incident that happened. It's, attendance issues. And normally 9 times out of 10, these fuck ass IIs is for attendance because they ain't got shit else better to do. If it's for some serious shit, trust me, your shop steward is probably going to find you and tell you. So if you have a smart shop steward sitting in your II, they're not supposed to really ask any questions. They're not supposed to interject anywhere in your II. So please, don't go in your II and be mad if your shop steward didn't say shit. Had nothing to say. Y'all got to understand, the less that is spoken, the better it is. Remember, this stuff is being written down and then will be typed up and submitted to labor. Everything that was said in your II. So a smart shop steward is not going to say too much of nothing because they don't want that shit to come back to hurt you further on down the line. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to sit there and not say shit. Now, this is where I differ. I believe you shouldn't say anything, but I do believe that if there's a question on there that's redundant, meaning they asking the same fucking question over and over again, but in the same fucking way, nip that shit in the bud. I hate that. Don't ask me the same question. Did Barbara go to the store yesterday? Did Barbara yesterday go to the store? Yesterday, did Barbara go to the store? No. That's the same fucking question. You nip that shit in the bud. Your shops will be like, you asked that question. We need to omit 2 and 3. Just leave 1. This is where your shop steward needs to come in handy. If there are redundant questions, if there are questions that are not pertaining to whatever that incident is, then you, as that shop steward, needs to address that. Now, If you see a shop steward is not doing it, then what you need to say is, didn't you ask that question already? Why are you asking again? Or if the question is not pertaining to you, meaning they're asking you a question about a day that's not on the dates that they provide for, let's say, attendance or something that you supposedly did and you was on your NS or you weren't even there or you hadn't clocked in yet, take that question out. That's what your shop steward is there for, to cut the crap. Okay, now, once you get involved into your II, and usually the management tries to keep it at most barely 7, 8 questions. They don't want to go too far because remember, that person, that supervisor, that MDO has to type it up and send it to labor. Okay. So, like I said, keep it short and sweet. Don't get too involved with the questions and the answers. If they tell you, well, did you call out on this day? Yep. Why? Sick. Whatever you gonna use, that's what you stick to. Don't say my dog died and one of his legs fell off and then his tail fell. No. Don't do all that. Yes. Sick. Out. That's it. I find that when people are in IIs or they go in for them, some of y'all have a tendency to just talk way too fucking much. Shut the fuck up. Don't be giving all that info. Did you call out on this day? Yep. Why? Sick. Did you call it? Yep. Sick. That's it. Don't be adding no extra shit. Now, if you are calling out and it's based and they give you an II based on attendance and you have FMLA, please make sure that you state in your II, because maybe your shop steward may not know that you have it. State in your II, say, yeah, I called out, but I got FMLA. This hell, y'all, aggravate my soul. I have FMLA. That's it. Don't go no further. At that point, your shop steward needs to step forward and say, well, if they have the FMLA and you have these dates, then we need to revisit this again because they're covered under FMLA. And at that point, your shop steward should be getting with your supervisor. If they're not, then you need to get with that supervisor. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Now, final thing about when you're doing these IIs. It's usually no more than 5 to 10 minutes because they like to make it short and quick. And then once you've answered the questions they ask you, there's always that one stupid ass question at the end. It's stupid. Y'all know what it is. But I'm going to give it to you next. Anyway, is there anything else you wish to say in regards to the situation? What I want to say. Don't say in the which I know some of you be thinking, this some bullshit, and why the fuck you call me in here? No. Don't do that. We're not going to do that. Because remember, like I said, this is a legal piece of documentation that has to be submitted to labor. Your words will be used against you, especially if discipline comes out of it. So, if they ask you that question, which they normally do, if you want to say something, keep it short and sweet. Say, especially if it's attendance, I called out because I had the flu. I was sick, period. I called out because my mom was ill. I need to take care of her, period. Don't add any extra shit. Don't say you had to go to CVS. Don't say you had to go get a doctor's note. Don't say your leg fell off. Don't give these people too much information to use against you. There's no purpose for that. Go in there, be polite. And I know it's hard because even I go in there, I be like, the fuck I'm in here for? Yes, Miss K get our eyes. I do. And you know what I do with them? Chew them up and spit them bullshits out because they all garbage. But whatever. Go in there and be polite as you can. Even if it's with a supervisor. And I know sometimes it's usually going to be with somebody who you do not have good rapport with. Meaning you can't stand that motherfucker. And you know they call you in for some bullshit. Don't do that in there. Try to keep it down some. And then handle that the way I told you to handle it. And then you're done. Don't give these people anything extra for you because most of the time it's going to be for attendance. If it's for insubordination, if it was because you're fighting or something like that, same thing. Especially if you guys are calling them because maybe you had an altercation with another employee or with someone else in management. The less you say, the better. Because at this point, now they're going to have to get statements. It's going to be he say, she say. And we all fucking know in the post office, bitches do not write statements. Motherfuckers, they name Bennett, they ain't in it. They don't know nothing. So remember, the less you say, the better it is. Because if they got to prove they have to show the burden of proof, especially if it's some type of altercation that occurred. When it's attendance, they're going to come in there with the dates already. And if you don't remember, if they ask you about a particular date, say genuinely, I don't remember. I can't recall. Do how they do it in Senate congressional hearings. I can't recall. If you really can't recall, I can't recall. If it slips your mind, or you just like, bitch, I don't know. Don't say, bitch, I don't know. Because I've had people in the eyes go, I don't fucking know. No. Clearly state, I do not recall. I have to check my calendar. I don't remember. That's all you got to do. Because they're going to write down exactly what you're saying. So give them less shit to write. And less shit that they have to submit to labor. Now, if you got documentation and stuff like that, this is how you get over on this one. If it's for attendance and they're writing you up, or they're trying to write you up, try to discipline you for some attendance shit. And they say, oh, well, you were out these days. And you say, I was sick. And then they go, well, where's your documentation? This is how you get them. You got to get them. If they never ask you for documentation, remember, you do not have to provide documentation when you get back to work if you're out sick. It's upon management to ask you for that before they give you that 3971. So before they hand you that to sign, they need to say, do you have any documentation? Even if it's deemed desirable, whatever the fuck it is, because that's the shit they make up. Deemed desirable. It ain't Christmas. So you, as the employee, don't come running in there, hi, I got paperwork. The fuck out of here. No, you don't. Let them ask for it. So if they never ask for documentation, but you got it, and you're sitting in an II and they're going, well, you called out these days. It was like 4 days in a row. And you legitimately had the flu. You legitimately went to the ER, the urgent care, and got documentation. And they say to you, well, I'll be like, So this is what you're supposed to say. Now, hopefully your supervisor, your shop steward may say, did you ask for documentation? They probably won't. I'm just telling you. You have to defend yourself. So you need to say, well, no one never asked me for documentation when they provided me with my 3971. Because that's on management. That's not on you. If they turn around and say to you, well, do you have it? I say, are you asking for it now? Are you? Do you need it now? I don't know if I should give it now. You're trying to write me up for these dates that you didn't ask me for documentation for. Miss K trying to teach y'all how to play the game. Because these motherfuckers will try to get over on anything. Because remember, supervisors have to write you up. And it's usually from higher ups. It's usually from the plant manager or somebody. You need to discipline this employee. You need to do this. This don't mean y'all don't bring y'all ass to work and do shit. Start fighting and carrying on. No. But legitimately, you need to make sure you watch yourself. And you make sure these people ain't playing no fucking games with your livelihood. So you have to always be up on game when you play with these people. Because they will play with you. So remember the tips I gave you. Remember, less is more. The less you say, the better it is. Don't go in there with no attitude. And don't get mad if your shop steward don't interject when you want them to. They're not there for that. They're there to listen, to gather information. And that's it. Once your II is done, then you chill. Because it's on your shop steward and the supervisor to come up with discipline. The shop steward has to wait for the supervisor to come up with discipline. If they don't come within discipline in a timely manner, usually with like 30 days or 60 days or however much it is, they don't come up with it, that's squashed. If they do come with discipline and they give it to you, you thus in turn give it to your shop steward so they can go ahead and fight that for you. Do not ever not fight any type of discipline management gives you. If you do not do it, it will go on your record and it will stay. Even if it's just a letter of warning. You fight a letter of warning. You don't let that shit ride. Never. I don't give a fuck. I don't play with letter of warnings. You tell me you got a letter of warning, I'm fighting it. We busting it down to oral discussion. We're not having that. You don't want that on your shit. So, remember y'all, just some tips so you can survive your IIs. For the old timers, y'all know how to do it. They know less is more. For you newcomers, you newly converted people, this is how you survive an II if you get one. You may go your whole career and never get one. You may never get an II. You may never get called in for some foolishness. And if that happens, you lucky. But trust me, you will go in there at least one time in your life. Maybe twice. And if you're real, real bad, you're going to be in that bitch like every month. But whatever. So, just giving y'all some tips and tricks on how to survive IIs, investigative interviews. Don't be scared by it. Don't let it shake you. Don't get mad about it. It's their job. Your job is answer to the best of your ability. Keep that shit short and simple. And ride out. And let the union handle it for you. All right? All right, that now. So go ahead, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all motherfucking hump day. The rest of y'all Valentine's Day. I hope y'all got some old swiveled up flowers and some nasty ass candy. Because I damn sure didn't. I just playing with y'all. Anyway, enjoy the rest of y'all day, babies. And always remember my postal freaks from Miss K. Love and light. Peace.